Nosepass's Pokédex entry states that it moves 1 centimeter every year. Despite this, it's still not the slowest Pokemon. How do we explain that? Hello everyone, my name is Super123 and today I'm going to try and beat Pokemon Sapphire with only a Nosepass. Being one of the very few pure rock type Pokemon means that we get a very limited amount of moves that we get same type attack bonus from, but we don't get an extra weakness to grass and water. Nosepass does learn a few electric type moves through level up, so that means it can actually deal with these water types pretty effectively, and all the water type trainers like Team Aqua. We will probably have to rely on TMs to get through a majority of the game, but we don't learn too many. The usual moves like Earthquake and a lot of normal type moves are thrown in with the likes of Thunderbolt, which should make this challenge a lot smoother than first thought, but we do still have pretty lacking attack and special attack. Here are the rules of the challenge. I can only use Nosepass in battle, but I can have other Pokemon in my party for HMs and for pickup. No items will be used in battle with the exception of held items, and no hacking in rare candies or anything. This is a race after all with the other Pokemon that are shown on screen. This is my leaderboard. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and comment any challenges you want to see in the future. But without further ado, let's get into the challenge. Starting off, I replaced Torchic with Nosepass so that the rival will have a Mudkip, which will be the hardest for us to battle. This Nosepass has a sassy nature, which is great because it raises special defense and lowers speed, of which it really should have 0, moving at 1 centimeter a year. I asked for nicknames for it on Twitter because I couldn't think of anything, and the suggestion was Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt the Nosepass. Thank you CPC, very cool. Also, this GIF was the only one of Nosepass when I searched on Twitter, and why does it say fart channel? I don't remember that on the Wii. After fighting the rival, I got some EV training in against Wild Wurmples and Poochyanners to get some extra boosts in HP and attack. I also got a horde of Zigzagoons for collecting items, which will be very helpful, and after getting Nosepass level 11, I carried on through the early game, destroying everything since all the opponents have normal type moves, which only do about 1 damage to us, making things pretty easy. I got the Quick Claw from the Trainer's School as well and a King's Rock from pickup, hitting level 13 to learn our first same type attack bonus move in Rock Throw. It's not really a good move since it has 90% accuracy, meaning it really has about 9% accuracy, but it will be a lot better for us against Rock Sand than Tackle. But I can tell by the gym trainers that this is going to be a struggle against more than a single rock type, so I got to level 20 and made an attempt. Well, this is going to be a nightmare. Her Geodude spams Harden and Rock Tomb to make us even slower than normal, making the King's Rock a useless item, and all I can do is just level up more. Hitting level 22 and we learn Thunder Wave, which isn't very good against Geodude, but it will be very useful if we can actually get to the Nosepass, which is a big problem because we run out of Rock Throw PP really easily, but luckily the pickup squad pulls through and gives us a few PP ups. My only other alternative is to level up more and to get to level 28 and learn Rock Slide, but I think that is a bit excessive. I did try a few more times equipping an Oran Berry and hitting level 25 and managed to win the badge. Her Geodude is still really annoying, but after we get past it we can paralyze the Nosepass to make things a bit easier. It doesn't have an Oran Berry like it does an Emerald, so that is a fair bit of respite, and after our spamming potions to make things a bit more troublesome, we take out the Nosepass and win the badge and the TM for Rock Tomb. I'm not going to be teaching this however since it's got lower PP and accuracy than Rock Throw, and we'll be getting Rock Slide soon enough anyway, seeing as I had to level up excessively. Another gym that we will struggle against for different reasons is the Fighting Gym, but we can actually skip this one and do it later, so I instead battled Team Aqua and battled the rival. Her Marshtomp was a big struggle to get past due to Water Gun and its ground typing making it immune to Thunder Wave. But with a bit of training to get Rock Slide and a few more tries we got a critical hit on it. And now for another gym that I'm going to struggle against, being the Electric type gym. Not only because of the paralysis that we're going to be inflicted by, but because Watson has Magnemite and Magneton who are part Steel type, and thus resist Rock and Normal type moves. My only moves. This gym took a long time to get past. With one of the tries I almost took out Magneton on numerous occasions, but Watson used 2 super potions on it and I just had to try more. Another 4 tries and I finally got this lucky run. Starting by getting lucky flinches and a crit on Magnemite means I don't get paralysed right off the bat, and since Voltorb isn't part Steel, Rock Slide was a one-shot. Now for that pesky Magneton, and a great start as I got off a Thunder Wave and a flinch with Rock Slide. and I then got a critical hit and a flinch on the same turn. This is obviously when the super potion started flowing, and we got it into the red again with another flinch and a bit of para hacks, but another super potion was used. I just have to keep going, and when he did finally hit us with Thunder Wave, then the Cherry Berry activated, negating it, and with a bit more para hacks, I took the victory by using Tackle just as a middle figure to his bunch of magnets. That was honestly the most hacks I've ever seen in a battle go my favour. If that happened against me, I'd be throwing the Game Boy out the window into a bonfire that's about to explode, and then I'd ship the remains to the depths of hell to be tortured for all of eternity, and then I'd get those remains and send them to Birmingham.
Birmingham is a f***ing shithole! I hate the f***ing place!
After teaching Nosepass the TM for Shockwave that we got from Watson, I went to the Team Aqua battles, and while I'm battling through these clowns, I have a little announcement. I've put a donation link in the description that will take you to where you can donate £3 a month for me to put towards the channel. This will mainly go towards new editing equipment or perhaps a new laptop because I seriously need one. If you're interested in becoming a Super Trooper and having your name feature at the end of all my videos, then check it out. Link again is in the description. Little plug out of the way, and this is the Archie Battle, which went pretty well despite having our attack stat lowered by Mighty Anna's Intimidate. But we can still get past him thanks to help from Shockwave. It's so weird saying Archie since I normally do these runs on Ruby. Finally we have a gym that Nosepass can actually do well against, so I beat all of the gym trainers and got too cocky, and not healed up my PP and was trying to save it for the Torkoal to save some in-game time, but that led to Nosepass getting poisoned and taken out. So that means I had to go all the way back to the Pokemon Center and heal, which did make the battle a lot easier, even if I did get attracted and paralysed hacks by Torkoal. I mean, I did beat the battle eventually, it just took me a really long time to actually battle through those and, you know, get the final hit in. Come on, get the final hit! Yeah, there we go. There we go. Next gym time. Alright, this is a bit awkward because I forgot I hadn't beaten Brawly yet and went all the way to Petalburg in anticipation for the 5th gym. So that did eat into a bit of in-game time, which I'm doing a bit poorly right now with, but it didn't get too long to get back there and destroy his team since we have a 20 level difference. And now we can go and battle Norman, starting with Thunder Wave, and then I realised that wasn't a great idea since they have the move Facade, which doubles in power if the user has a status affliction, but in our defense, we have defense, and a resistance to normal type moves. So after taking out that first slacking, he sent in his next slacking, the one with Focus Punch. So I had to be really careful because I feel that it could one-shot us with one Focus Punch. So I had to whittle it down with the always accurate Shockwave, just so that I can negate it using Focus Punch. We eventually took it down. It did take a while, but it was very safe, and I didn't lose, so that's always good. And then Vigoroth is just finished with a critical hit, and much to my surprise, we actually won on the first attempt. After all those gyms we had struggles against, can we finally have a smoother ride? Now, due to having Rock Slide and Shockwave, Winona will not be difficult at all. I still took a detour to New Marvel, however, to get an upgrade on Shockwave for the TM for Thunderbolt. It's not 100% accurate, but I'll take the power increase. What I won't take is learning Zap Cannon, which has only 5 extra base points over Thunderbolt, with 50 less accuracy. Yeah, no. Team Aqua were easily disposed of, and we flinched the heck out of Marshtomp to beat the rival. I then checked out what hidden power type we would have, which was Bug type. It's not too helpful right now, but maybe it would be helpful for the Psychic Gym. In the battle versus Winona, we got very lucky despite bigging ourselves up only a few moments ago. The first half of our team was pretty easy, but Altaria using Earthquake was really messing me up. Luckily she threw the battle using Dragon Dance, which it shouldn't even be able to have until level 40, but thanks to the hacking of Winona, we actually beat her. We were in pretty bad shape for a Skarmory, but somehow we outspeed it and can take it out to win the battle. Beating that extra Zigzagoon to get an extra speed EV came in clutch against the Skarmory, it must have. After chasing Team Aqua out of their Lily Cove base, we can travel to Moss Deep for one of the hardest gyms in these challenges, the battle with Tate and Liza. We have no clear counter for either of these two Solar Rocks, and after trying multiple times with Bug-type Hidden Power, which did nothing for damage, and then trying Thunderbolt, we could do nothing. I tried after grinding to level 55, and I had a run where I could knock out one of their team, but the other one had already set up 2 Calm Minds, so all is lost. Even the King's Rock doesn't help despite it apparently working for all moves, but I didn't notice it, so I guess it just hates me right now. So I gave Nosepass a Citrus Berry instead. Training on the high seas of Hoenn isn't a great idea with a rock type, but Thunderbolt is nice to have, and after getting to level 65 with the help of a few rare candies, we got this run. I started by aiming for the Lunatone first because it set up those Calm Minds before, so I have a bit of a personal vendetta against it, and it also has Hypnosis, which is also pretty bad. I got a critical hit on it and was left with Nosepass v Solrock. Solrock had already set up a Sunny Day, so I was a bit worried for a potential Solar Beam, but said Solar Beam never actually came. But what did happen was Solrock being healed by not 1, not 2, not 3, but a total of 4 Hyper Potions. That was extremely excessive as we tanked through a barrage of Psychics. But once the healing was done, so were Tate and Liza. That was a pretty tough gym, and I'm glad to be seeing the back of it. While dealing with the Team Aqua stuff again, I made a detour and got the TM for a return. I know I'm getting the team for Earthquake while exploring the underwater cave, but I feel that return will be more helpful right now. And I didn't want to teach Strength for my moveset since I can't delete it quickly seeing as it's a HM. After beating Archie, I went to fight Kyogre, who was really upset about the red orb situation. So upset that it destroyed my Nosepass for having a red nose. I just reset and ran from Kyogre so that it can perform its Reign of Terror while I go and fight the gym, which is full of water types. Great. I know we do have Thunderbolt, but I'm still not confident. I battled the gym trainers and went into the gym leader battle at level 67. Despite the weakness to water, this was an extremely successful run involving a few very near one-shots on Celio and Seaking, but ultimately we missed out on the victory, but extremely positive signs. I decided to get a few more levels and reach the funny level of 69, haha. This time Celio was a one-shot giving us more health for later on, but Seaking is still an issue. It sets up Rain Dance, not only raising the power of its water type moves, but its speed via Swift Swim, and if it confuses us with Water Pulse, we're in a pretty bad spot if we can actually get to the Milotic, which is strong enough as it is on its own. We took Seaking to the red as usual and it got healed up. We missed a Thunderbolt as it lands a Water Pulse getting the confusion. We managed to break through and two-shot it, but we're at half health for the Milotic. We land a Thunderbolt, taking it to around half and survive a Water Pulse on only 13 HP. We get another chance to attack through confusion and we knock out the Milotic, and I'm pretty sure that was a damage range since its health looked higher than exactly half. I then forgot he has another Pokemon in reserve, which is Whiscash, and I was dreading another reset, but we land a critical hit return. So the power of love helps us through with that one, and it didn't take as long as I initially thought, but that wasn't really a consistent strategy, but whatever. I won the gym badge, and I'll take that every day. I'm not trying to be consistent here, I just want to win. Now for the final preparation before the Elite Four, starting with the Wally fight at the end of Victory Road. And I would have loved to say not much about this, but this is honestly one of the first times I can recall struggling against Wally. Since I haven't taught Earthquake yet, then the Magneton is pretty troublesome, and after taking damage from it and getting paralysed, then his God of War is even more trouble with Double Team. I did eventually get past him, and here are our stats going into the Elite Four challenge, of which I have to beat them all in a row without saving in between, just a self-imposed challenge as standard with my Gen 3 solo runs. Starting at level 75 with really decent defense stats, but the attack stats are pretty lacking in my opinion. I mean, the attack is okay, but I'll be needing Thunderbolt. What level do you think I'll beat the Elite Four at? Okay, so this might take a bit longer than I expected. I got really unlucky versus Sydney. Him leading with an Intimidate user isn't ideal as we will have to go for Thunderbolt on it, but that's not too bad. The real issues are his grass and water types. His Cacturne has Leech Seed, which is annoying, and also Needle Arm, and Sharpedo can confuse us with Swagger and get off really dangerous Surfs. And Shifter is just a pain in general with Double Team and Flinching Extrasensory, doubled with the Leech Seed from before, and it is really a troublesome team. We almost beat him on that first try, but those factors will make me lose this battle quite a lot. It took me 5 more tries to even get past him, and even then I had to teach Earthquake at that point and get to level 80, just to have some extra power behind us. Thunderbolt is still the play against my Tiana, and for Cacturne, I just have to power past it, mainly using Rock Slide. Sharpedo's Surf doesn't do as much to us now, but it's still a really big chunk. Despite that, it's still a one-shot with Thunderbolt as Absol gets taken down after being healed. Shiftry was his last Pokemon, and despite it raising its evasiveness 3 stages, we do land a critical hit to take it out. That was much more of a hassle than it should have been, but our lack of coverage versus grass types really shone through then. So getting rid of Return in advance was a good idea since normal moves won't do anything against ghost types. And in this battle I think that the game took mercy on me, as I got extremely lucky, mainly because her Dusclops couldn't use Curse thanks to our flinching king in Rock Slide. Her second Dusclops with Earthquake was healed up a fair amount, but we can still battle through it, and the rest of her team is just more annoying than anything. But we were just that little bit more annoying with Paralysis and Flinches out the behind, as we won the battle first try. So Sydney is who I'm normally okay against, and he was trouble. And Phoebe, who I hate battling, was a victory on the first try. What kind of backwards ass challenge is this? Either way, now we can battle Glacier, who despite being an ice type user is more of a water type user, but we do have ample coverage for a team anyway in Thunderbolt and Rock Slide. The latter will be more useful due to our higher physical attack. Missing the first Rock Slide wasn't ideal, but clearly is still a one-shot, as is the following Celio with the help from a critical hit. But maybe it didn't matter because her second stronger Celio was also a one-shot. We then got extremely lucky versus the Walrein as we flinch it with a Rock Slide and get it into the red, but its Citrus Berry takes it out of full restore range, so we can just Thunderbolt it and take it out. And our last Glalie is another one-shot, but I swear, if that Ice Beam throws Nosepass, this game, you're going back to Birmingham. Another challenger expected to struggle against, and we smashed them out of the park. But how were we doing against Drake? Well, I'm sorry to spoil the party, Nosepass lovers, but we didn't win this one. Shelgon lowering our speed with Rock 2 made it so we can't outspeed the rest of his team and flinch them with Rock Slide and King's Rock, but I did try to devise a plan for his Flygons later on, and taught Nosepass strength. I did actually delete it later because, as you can see, his Flygon will paralyze us with Dragon Breath, meaning that Facade will be double damage, becoming a 140 power move. Also, how we can't hit Flygon with Earthquake when it's using Dig, I don't understand. You can't levitate underground. In fact, it shouldn't even have the ability to levitate in the first place. It's flying, not levitating. So after trying numerous times and getting to Drake, we just can't get past that Salamence of his with enough health to spare. The Facade idea was good in theory, but our Paralysis luck is balancing out against me at this stage. The game said, nah, your luck's been too good for too long, let's see how you like it. And game, I don't like it, please stop. I'm not sure how, but at level 90 we managed to get past the Salamence on only 26 HP. It having Intimidate is a real kicker to the plans, since we could definitely one-shot it with Rock Slide if that wasn't the case, but we do get past it against all odds, and get to fight the champion for the first time. Here's how our first attempt went. Skarmory seemed to be in damage range with Thunderbolt since we took it to the red first time around, but the second time was a one-shot. And speaking of one-shots, Armaldo with Rock Slide, not a good combo. See you later. Graydilly was something I was worried about, but we flinched it turn 1 and got it into the red turn 2. But we did get hit with Confuse Ray, which was really damaging to us and are now extremely bad luck. Stephen 4 restored it as we hit ourselves time after time, I think it was like 3 times in a row. Graydilly healing itself with Mega Drain, and a critical hit Earthquake didn't take it out, and we lose at the final hurdle. That was such a BS way to lose, but we just have to try again. Luckily for my sanity, the Elite Four is getting easier at this higher level, as I now know that I can take out the first 3 members without using any PP restoring items. Drake is still a bit iffy to battle due to his 2 Flygons, but we've got another attempt at the champion at level 95. Skarmory and Armaldo are still no issue at all to me, but then the Cradilly comes out, and we just have enough power to get it to half with an Earthquake, but then the Confuse Ray rubbish starts to happen. But we did manage to take it out from just under half after a Thunderbolt. Next up is Claydol, and I don't really have anything for this. Thunderbolt and Earthquake are useless against it, and Rock Slide is not very effective. Facade does an okay amount, making it look like a free shot at best, but it raises its defense with a Reflect, so we're screwed. The only way I can think about beating this is to use Hidden Power again, since it is a bug type move and will be super effective. That will be for my next attempt though, seeing as I did lose this one. Getting back to the champion at level 96, a level higher and a level wiser with Hidden Power Bug. Let's see how we do. Skarm and Armaldo, you know the drill, and Cradilly this time is a similar story to last time, but the Earthquake is still a better choice than the super effective Hidden Power. But we do get Stephen to waste full restores after a flinch avoiding a Confuse Ray, Earthquake is doing really well, but we are just out of the range for a 2-shot, instead having to take a Confuse Ray into the Claydol fight. It sets up its silly screens as we finally can attack with a super effective critical hit, knocking out in one hit. But the bad news is that the screens are still up, meaning that his next aggron isn't a one-shot when it normally would be. We do get the King's Rock flinch however and face off against his final Pokemon Metagross. We just have to outlast one turn of Reflex defense boosts with an initial Earthquake. We do that, but Metagross lands a super effective Meteor Mash, and is this the end of the run? No! Nosepass tanks it on 5 HP, what a legend! And the Reflect wears off and we can destroy Metagross with a final powerful Earthquake. And that means we have done it. I have officially beaten Pokemon Sapphire with only a Nosepass, finishing the game at level 97 with an in-game time of 11 hours, 19 minutes. So how does this look on the Gen 3 leaderboard? Well, I've put Nosepass in C tier, with it finishing the game 1 minute slower than Torchic and at 1 level higher. It was a challenging run, but a fun one nonetheless. Most of the gyms were causing a few issues like Roxanne, Watson and the twins, but I'm really surprised with how Nosepass dealt with these challenges that it came up against, despite how limited its move pool is. That level we did eventually beat the game at you should take with a pinch of salt, because if we had some better RNG with Confusion and Paralysis, and I had made some better move choices, then we could have actually beaten the game a lot faster. But then again, hindsight is 2020, and that is the joy of me doing these runs fairly blind. It just means I have to deal with what the game throws at me. And if you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say a massive thank you for being patient with the uploads and streams, since it's been a real busy few weeks for me. Seeing as I have actually got married and I'm settling back into work, so there's a bit of supery lore for you. But I'm back and I'm raring to go. And if you would like to see any specific challenges in the future, then be sure to leave them in the comments or to tweet them at me. And also, if you are interested, please check out the donation link if you are interested in supporting the videos down below. But if you don't want to leave a donation, that's fine too. Leaving a like and comment will just help boost the video in the algorithm, so that means you're also supporting the channel. I hope you have enjoyed the video and are looking forward to the next Gen 3 Pokemon run. My name is Super3 123 and I will see you all next time.